This is the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. I am your host, Laurie Henderson. Join me on this journey into the world of manga, where a river of reviews flow through caverns of commentary down into the latest news. Welcome to the Manga Dome. Episode 65, Manga at Anime Expo 2014. This week's manga. After taking a break last week, the choice for this week's manga are greatly expanded. Starting with Viz's kids imprint Perfect Square, Pokemon Adventures Volume 23 starts a new arc with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I really enjoyed reading Ruby and Sapphire, so I'm looking forward to jumping in at the beginning of this arc. Arpeggio of Blue Steel Volume 1 is a title I've been looking forward to from 7 Seas since it was announced last year. I'm growing to like military-themed titles. I blame ID4. Viz's My Love Story Volume 1 came out digitally last week, and now it's out in print. Lots of good reviews have been pouring in for it. Another shoujo from Viz is Sweet Rain, a series I was okay with, but wasn't enamored by. Volume 3 is the final volume, so I'd like to see how it ends. The Top 10 Department. The couples are getting broken up at VizManga.com. For the week of July 2nd, 2014, the top title is swapped out again. Naruto Volume 66 takes over at number 1. Demon Love Spell Volume 6, the final volume of the series, debuts at number 2, along with My Love Story Volume 1, which debuts at number 3. Rosario Vampire Season 1 Volume 1 pops in thanks to a sale at number 4, while Sweet Rain Volume 3, another series finale, debuts at number 5. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Volume 1 debuts at number 6, and is followed by All You Need Is Kill Volume 1, last week's number 1, which falls 6 to come in at number 7. Nisekoi Volume 8 moves up 1 to number 8. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Volume 2 debuts at number 9. And All You Need Is Kill Volume 2 falls 8 to end the list at number 10. There are a lot of debuts this week. Naruto hitting number 1 with its new volume is to be expected. My Love Story had a nice promotion that even I jumped in on that probably pushed it up so far in the top 5. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has been getting a lot of buzz with the new anime this last season, so it's not surprising that when the series finally came out in digital, that it would chart, and chart respectably. Shoujo still takes a beating this week, but with the digital debuts we saw, it would be surprising if it hadn't. Over at the New York Times bestseller list, Viz and Kodansha split the list, leaving Yen Press with just a sliver. For the week ending July 5th, 2014, a new title takes the top spot from Future Survey Corps Leader Levy. Naruto Volume 66 debuts at number 1. Attack on Titan No Regrets Volume 1 falls 1 to come in at number 2, and is followed by Nisekoi Volume 4, which debuts at number 3. Attack on Titan Volume 1 falls back 2 to its favorite spot at number 4, as Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal Volume 5 debuts at number 5. Pokemon Adventures Volume 23 debuts at number 6, along with Sword Art Online Fairy Dance Volume 1, which debuts at number 7. Attack on Titan Volume 2 returns at number 8. Sword Art Online Aincrad Volume 1 falls back 2 to number 9. And Fairy Tail Volume 39 falls back 4 to end the list at number 10. Viz makes a good showing this week, with 4 of their titles taking spots on the list, as well as a majority of the top 5. I'm always happy when an all-ages title charts. Kodansha fills in most of the gaps with 3 Attack on Titan volumes, leaving Yen Press just a tiny sprinkle of spots to fill. But Sword Art Online is actually doing fairly well. Aincrad has made it almost 2 months on the list, mostly consecutive. We'll see if Fairy Dance can do just as well. Manga at Anime Expo 2014. Most of the major manga publishers were at Anime Expo over the July 4th weekend, and they brought a ton of new licenses to squeeze the squee out of fans. Viz Media, Dark Horse, Vertical, and Kodansha all brought new goodies for fans to drool over and sit in anticipation of getting. Starting with Viz Media, which had the first manga panel of the weekend, they decided to please all the JoJo Bizarre Adventure fans with the announcement that they would release the second part of the series, Battle Tendency. Back in June, Viz confirmed an Amazon listing for the first series, Phantom Blood. It will premiere digitally in September, and a deluxe print edition will be out in February of 2015. Battle Tendency will be out digitally in March 2015, with no announcement of a print version yet. The third arc, Stardust Crusaders, was released in print back in 2005, but is now being released digitally with volumes 1 and 2 already available. A 2012 anime just recently aired on Crunchyroll, which covered the first 2 arcs, so interest in the manga of these is no doubt high. Also officially announced was Requiem for the Rose King, a dark fantasy by Aya Kano, creator of Ottoman. The series is an adaptation of Shakespeare's Richard III and takes place during the English historical period known as the War of the Roses. I love the look and premise of the series back when it was announced in Japan last year and was really hoping Viz, or someone, would pick it up. This will be a definite must-buy when it comes out. Viz's Shoujo Beat imprint had its own panel and announced 2 new licenses of its own. Meteor Prince is a 2-volume series by Mecha Tanaka. It follows unlucky girl Hako Natsuno, who is hit by a naked man who falls from the sky and onto her. His name is Io, and he claims to want Hako to bear his child. The premise sounds pretty iffy to me, but 2 volumes isn't a big investment. I might check out the first volume when it comes out in January of 2015. The Demon Prince of Momichi House has a little more promise. This one follows Himari Momochi, who loses her parents at a young age and grows up in an orphanage. When she turns 16, she receives a will detailing her inheritance of the Momochi estate. It turns out the family estate sits on the border between the real world and the spirit world. Himari is attacked by a demon when she arrives, but is saved by a mysterious shape-shifting man named Aoi. I have an affinity for supernatural romances like these, as long as it doesn't get too icky. I'll be looking forward to this one in July of 2015. Of their existing titles, Viz also announced omnibus editions of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Geo, a digital exclusive of a Vampire Knight bonus manga chapter, Life, and Shoujo Beat's first limited edition manga, Vampire Knight Volume 19, will be released in October, along with the second box set. Dark Horse Comics only had one new title announcement. Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt is a 1-volume manga based on the Gainax anime of the same name. It follows 2 angels, Panty and Stocking, who have been sent to Dayton City to exterminate a company of ghosts. The anime was really popular, so this manga probably already has a built-in audience, and 1 volume isn't a big investment. I'll probably pass, though. Also new was the announcement of a Satoshi Kon art book. The art of Satoshi Kon features illustrations and notes about the late anime director's film, TV, and manga work. Kon has been getting a lot of attention in the States lately, with Vertical having already released 1 of his manga, and Dark Horse set to release 2 more this year, or early next. Dark Horse also announced they would resume releasing Kurosagi Corp's delivery service, which has been on hiatus with them for 2 years. They will release 3-volume omnibuses for the first 12 volumes before starting back up with Volume 14. I've heard a lot of good things about this series, but I've also heard it can be very gory. This has kept me away from the title. They also announced omnibus editions of Ah, My Goddess. The 45-volume series will be released in 15 omnibus volumes and will feature larger art, improved paper, and extra color art inserts. No dates were announced for any of Dark Horse's licenses. Vertical competes with Dark Horse for Satoshi Kon projects. They announced the license of Yume no Kasuke, a collection of Satoshi Kon's short stories. Vertical will release the volume under the title of Satoshi Kon's Complete Short Stories, Dream Fossil. It will be a whopping 440 pages and will feature 15 short stories, including many of his early works. The volume will be available in summer of 2015. This will be a must for Kon fans. I'm interested, but it isn't necessarily a must for me. Kodansha Comics announced 2 new licenses, though one will be familiar to Crunchyroll manga readers. Koei no Katachi, also known as A Silent Voice, got a lot of good word of mouth from readers when it appeared on Crunchyroll, and a lot of readers hoped it would get a print release. That wish has now come true. The story is about a young deaf girl who transfers into a new school and becomes the target of a vicious bully. Years pass, and the boy learns to sympathize with the girl and seeks her out to apologize. The series is currently at 4 volumes in Japan, and the creator has already said it will probably only go another 2 volumes. Kodansha will release the first volume in spring 2015, with new volumes to come out every 2 months after. This is another must-buy for me when it comes out. Their second license is Maria, the Virgin Witch, from Masayuki Ishikawa, the creator of the short-lived Here, Moyasiman. The 3-volume series follows the witch Maria, who uses her magic to protect her French village from the ravages of the 100 Years' War. She is forced into an oath of chastity when her flagrant use of the dark arts attracts the attention of Archangel Michael. To break it is to lose her powers. I'm putting this one in the iffy pile. I might check out the first volume. It will be out in early 2015. Ishikawa fans will no doubt flock to it as they can have at least one of her titles complete in English. Well, that was quite a list. I am most excited about titles from Viz and Kodansha. Requiem for the Rose King, The Demon Prince of Momichi House, and A Silent Voice stand on top as my most anticipated titles of the con. Vertical comes in a close second with the con short story collection. I don't think Yen Press was at Anime Expo, so we'll have to wait and see if they have anything to announce at San Diego Comic Con, which is coming up next weekend. Even though they did recently announce several titles, perhaps they still have a few up their sleeve. Which of these titles, if any, were you looking forward to? Leave a comment and let the other listeners know. Thank you for listening to the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. You can find links to the stories and books discussed here in the show notes at manga.jdragononline.com. You can email me with any questions at xanadu@jdragononline.com or leave a comment on this post. Rate me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Manga Xanadu, all one word. Until next time, farewell from the Manga Dome.